Hey, what's going on YouTube? I know I haven't said that in forever. But what's going on, people? How have you been? You been good? Well, as you saw on the video that I posted before, I do plan on recording back again on this channel, uploading videos for you guys. Now, one person commented, did my situation change? Yes and no. I did get a new position, but it's still way much of a pay cut. So I'm still cautious of what I'm doing on the over here, just in case. But I still didn't want to be gone as long as I was. So I decided to come back really quick and briefly with a series that you guys really enjoyed. And the person whose channel these things are uploaded on decided to upload some new videos. If there are some repeats of the last ones, it's okay. But these are these animated horror stories that I was doing like right before my channel stopped. And I'm excited because some of these are new. And I'm always excited to see these. So shout out again to Llama Arts who does this channel. These are supposed to be school lockdown stories. So if y'all have phobias of dark lockers or what the school looks like after dark, you may want to look away. But let's watch.
It was a typical boring day in calculus, only it was Friday, 7th period, meaning the week was almost over and spring break would finally be upon us, so everybody was getting antsy in their seats, I could tell. We didn't have a test that day like a lot of my friends did with their other teachers, so our teacher in the middle of class just decided to start playing games with us on Sporkle.com. He was a very laid-back teacher like that. As we were doing some brand logo quiz on Sporkle, I remember the exact moment it happened. Right after my friend answered a question, I remember the exact answer too, Adidas. The dean's voice came through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked and frantic as he told all the teachers this was not a drill and to go into lockdown. I actually got the chills, and I got goosebumps on my arms as our usually laid-back teacher too seemed panicked as he ran to turn off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the room. We all sat in silence for about 2 minutes, and then the usual buzzing that came from a panel in the back of the room ceased, indicating that the school must have cut all the power. We all looked at each other, realizing this must be serious.
Okay, are they just not gonna say what's going on? Like, is it a terrorist attack? Is there somebody with a gun? Is there a storm coming? Like, are we like, do we need to evacuate or do we like, what is the threat? What, so I can kind of know like what kind of precautions do we need to take? Is it an earthquake? Like,
A few more minutes of waiting later, we heard a man screaming at the top of his lungs coming down the hallway. 2 girls in the class actually started crying, which made all of us even more scared. As the screaming got closer to the classroom, the lunatic-sounding man started banging on the lockers while screaming, "I'll kill all of you." It was at that moment that I started to fear for my life.
you know what? This honestly just had me triggered. Not necessarily from a personal experience, but this is basically the exact or a very similar situation to the victims at the Pulse nightclub. If I remember, it's been about a year now. If I remember the Pulse nightclub, it was a a gay bar where some lunatic came in shooting people because of prejudiced ideals, and it's the same people. They're locked in here in the dark with somebody claiming they're gonna kill everyone. Oh Jesus. You can only imagine, especially as a child, somebody screaming frantically, banging on. Okay, now let's pose a question. If this were you, and if you knew that somebody was crazy, potentially about to bust up in here, and you in a school, what are you doing? Me, Jamar's about to start sharpening his pencil. I'm about to start pulling something out, getting some blunt object, my shoe if I have something. I need to be able to have something in my hands. So if I get tried, I can fight back. Cause right now I'm about to start looking for stuff. Cause you don't ever know. He could pass by this classroom or he could jump right through here. We just don't know. So I had to do something. I'm scared.
My teacher shushed us as we all looked at each other to see our peers' reactions. The
And where is security? How is this man running through this school full of children and he hasn't been tackled to the ground?
banging then moved from the lockers to our classroom door. And that's when one of the crying girls screamed no. The banging on the door only grew worse as the man started screaming, "Open up." Two of the girls in the class were crying out loud now. It felt like an eternity that man was pounding at the door.
Oh my god.
But eventually, he finally continued down the hallway, screaming like a mentally insane person until we could not hear him anymore. I'd say 10 minutes later, though it felt like half an hour given the situation, the dean came back on the loudspeaker explaining the situation, which was surprising for him to do. He explained that some apparently mentally unstable person entered the building and assaulted the woman sitting at the front desk, causing her to flee the building screaming, and staff wasn't sure if the man was armed or not. Now this was before the school had cameras or could afford proper security, so the school was wide open to something like this happening.
That I guess explains. Look, how? When is this? The 50s or something? Like, is this school low budget? Do they have no funding? Like, how does a school not have in modern day the money to afford security or cameras? I'm not sending my child to this school.
The staff had done a sweep of all the hallways and classrooms and couldn't find him, so the dean instructed the teachers to resume teaching but to keep all the doors locked and to not let any students leave for any reasons. The most disturbing part,
Resume teaching. Let me tell you something. If some maniac just started banging the door, basically saying, I'm going to kill you all, and was mere feet away from you, do you think that I'm going to then, minutes later, turn around and listen to Mr. Johnson talk about fractions? Like, no, 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 no. There is no teaching at this point. There is just mere panic and crying if necessary. There's no teaching. What? How are we supposed to just go back to teaching?
however, is that one of the janitors working the night shift found the man sleeping in one of the storage closets near.
Hold on, this is gonna bother me. I'm gonna turn on the light just because I feel like it's too dark in here. One sec. Okay, and we're back.
The back end of the school, and according to rumors that were spread by my peers, sticking out of his pocket was a .44 Magnum. The janitor must have done something stupid to wake him up, for example, leaving the closet door open, because by the time a police officer could arrive on the scene, the man was gone. My entire class, as far as I know, to this day, has no idea if this man was ever found, but I like to think that right now, he's being given the proper help that he needs.
Either that or plotting to come back. Man, please. That's not gonna be the thing. Oh, I'm sure he got the help that he needs and this, that, and the fourth. No, I'm gonna assume that if he came once, he's gonna come back, and I hope that this was initiative enough for the school to implement some sort of security so that people like this just can't walk in and endanger your students. I'm sorry, if my child came home and told me that this happened, I'm pulling him out of school. I'm sorry. I have to be mad about it because how y'all know where I'm coming from, right? Y'all understand. Y'all understand. Now, that was a relative. Since it's been a long time since I've been here, I'm gonna go and we're gonna do another one. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So we're back. with another video from this llama arts person. And this is just titled like Scary True Horror Stories. It doesn't look like it's particularly themed at all. And I haven't watched it, so I'm hoping that this isn't a repeat. So let's check it out. Okay.
I'm 27 years old. I live alone in a rural town in Virginia, about 2 blocks away from my parents. My parents are both in their 60s, and my mom has become a very worrisome woman in her old age. Sometimes she walks over uninvited and lets herself in, since I had regrettably given her a key, which can get a bit annoying. Like if I would be out really late on weekends at a bar or with women, I would sometimes come home to my mom sitting in the living room waiting, worried sick. I know you may just think,
Oh, Mama, I love you, but if you're doing all this, and nah, I'd have to change the locks. I'm sorry, Mama, I love you, but no.
oh my god, that's crazy, why not just put your foot down and tell her to stop? Well, because you don't know my mom. It's very hard to describe her, but she's the kind of worrisome, innocent little lady that you just can't bring yourself to go against. And I hate to mention, she also has mild dementia. Anyway, this was Saturday.
Uh, I mean, okay, sure, but there's got to be a better way. You can't just be in my, because I know if somebody is in my house and I don't expect them to be, then you liable to get messed up. Because I wouldn't trust that it would just be my mom every time. I'm just saying. Mama, you'd have to call me before you come. Like I had to change my locks, and she had to call me. Like I couldn't. It's just not safe. No, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
Night. I think it was around 2 in the morning. I was at a nearby club with a group of college friends, really the only place to hang out in this boring town, and I was getting ready to head home. I said goodbye to all my friends and walked the 3 blocks it took to get back to my house. I walked up my front stoop in my drunken haze and dug
Oh,
my hand in my pocket for my keys. When I grabbed the doorknob, I realized it was unlocked. My mom was here again. I quietly opened and shut the front door, locking it behind me. I put my key.
okay. First of all, I'm already spooked because first of all, my door is unlocked, even if my mom is in here or not, and I'm drunk. I do not like where this is going, and I'm nervous, and I secretly don't want to push play. I don't. So this is why I have to do this in the daytime because. Okay.
Keys on the kitchen counter and found a note written in my mom's handwriting saying, "You forgot this at our house, next to the box of half-eaten cake my parents didn't want." I didn't see my mom anywhere, so I assumed she must have gone upstairs to sleep in the guest bed until I got back, which is something she would commonly do as well. Then I heard footsteps upstairs, confirming it, and that's when I sighed once again. 27 years old, almost 3 in the morning, and she still has to wait up and treat me like a child. I ran upstairs to check the guest bed, empty, along with all the bathrooms. I was afraid Mom was having one of her episodes due to her condition, so I ran to the phone to call my dad.
Uh-oh.
After 4 rings, my dad picked up in a groggy voice, asking what the hell is the matter. After I told him that I heard Mom wandering around upstairs in my house, there was a short pause, and then he said, "That's not possible, she's sleeping right next to me."
Nope. No. 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 I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Okay. This is a fight or flight reaction. Do I get prepared to kill whoever's in my house, or do I exit stage left? I'm exiting because I'm not even. I don't really want to find out because no, I'm just not. I'm not about that life.
My mouth fell open as I turned my head to face the dark upstairs.
No.
And just barely, by the light provided by the kitchen, I could see a head peering around from the corner at the top of the stairs,
Oh
looking
no.
down at me. I
Woo!
screamed into the phone as I ran out the front door and down the street to my parents' house, explaining to my father on the way. About halfway there, my dad told me, "Alright, I'm gonna call the cops," and hung up. I made it to my parents' house, where my mom was already waiting at the door, worried sick. My mom explained that she did come over to clean my kitchen a little bit and to bring over the cake they didn't want. 2 police cars pulled up in front of my parents' house, where they escorted me and my dad down the street to my house. 1 officer stayed outside with us, while 2 others went inside to investigate. It felt like 15 minutes before they came back outside and said it was clear. They checked everything. There was really nothing for me to report, other than the door was left unlocked and I saw the outline of a head upstairs before I ran for it. Still, I didn't feel safe sleeping in there that night, so I went back to my parents' house. Me and my dad are certain that my mom simply forgot to lock the door when she left, as her memory has been getting worse over the past few months. My dad has been stopping her from coming over alone from now on, which makes me both sad but also relieved. Some nights, I still get paranoid that whoever was in my house that night never left, and is still hiding in here somewhere.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'd move. I would move. I'd burn everything in there and move. But thank y'all again for watching. Whew, I almost forgot how these things make me nervous. What in the world is this? But anyway, thank y'all again for watching. I'll be back again pretty soon with another one if I can find a new one to watch. And now, if y'all have other things that y'all want me to watch, leave it in the comments below because I'm pretty sure there's only so many of these videos. Yeah, make sure you leave it in the comments below and I'll watch them. And yeah, I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much for sticking by with me.